Hey y'all, it's your girl Kas the Bestie. We're back with another stream. Now let me make sure everything's working before I even get okay. Everything's working. So hey y'all. It's another stream for you guys today, and I wanted to talk to you guys about manifesting your own reality. Now I need to take a second because it's a little hot. I just turned the AC off and because it was loud. I just came in from going to my daughter's school so that I can go watch her run. But the race is actually not going to be until Monday. So I went out there for no reason, but it's okay because I got to cheer some kids on, gave them that good energy, and yeah, get outside, get some fresh air. But when I was out there, I was just thinking about how sometimes you just have to do things you don't want to do in order to get to where you want to get to. And it's not the fact that you have to do necessarily things that are going to change how you feel about yourself. It's you have to do things that are going to push you in the direction that's going to uplift you or put you in a position so that you can be where you want to be in your life. When you're trying to manifest, you have to be able to have your eyes on the prize. You have to be able to see this vision. And I'm not talking about, oh, yeah, I want to have $1 million. That's very, very vague. Saying you want to have $1 million is not saying it's not bad to say that. But you have to also think about what would get me $1 million. What am I doing right now that would ever give me the opportunity to make $1 million? Those are the things that we have to think about. When I'm manifesting, I like to think about where I'm going for my future, and I already know what I'm. I already know what I'm destined for. So that's why you see me putting in action. You have to put in work so that you can become the thing that you want, so that you can have that reality. You have to actually participate. You can't expect things to just always fall to you. And yes, things do fall to you, but sometimes you have to put yourself in that place in order for you to do it. I was actually watching a video earlier and they were talking about that, how people have to put themselves in position in order for them to receive. And that's so true because when you don't put yourself in a position, it's like saying, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get like $100 today," but you don't even leave the house. You don't even go online, try to, put yourself out there or anything. It's like it's wishful thinking. Like, yeah, you might find it on the floor, but you would have better chances of achieving that goal if you put yourself in a position for an opportunity to come to you so that you can get that goal. You know what I'm saying? So, boom, if you want to manifest your future, you want to make sure that you are putting in those necessary work. And I'm not saying just go to work every single day and save money. I'm saying like you have to think about who you are as a person in totality. You have to think about what you do and how these moves that you're working towards are going to put you in a position that's going to help you be better. So, say if you want to become like some people, like a lot of people want to become an artist, a musician. You want to be a musician, but you're putting music out there and you're just putting music out. You're not putting it out in an intentional way. You're not putting it out in a way, one, your music is all over the place, or if your music is not necessarily in one genre or in your style, something that people will recognize that that's you, then it's going to be like you're throwing arrows into space. You get what I'm saying? Like you're going to be shooting in the dark. But when you have an idea in mind, what you want your music to do, then it helps you put yourself in a position where you're aligned more with these specific people so that you can get that information, get that music to them, get that project to them, whatever you're working on to them. You have to be able to, one, have the music, and two, have the space for them to be able to view it. And you have to also be an embodiment of what you are trying to project. So if you want to be a musician, you're going to be focused on music. You're not going to be focused on everything else in the world. You're not going to be focused on everything that everybody else is doing, drama, what other musicians are doing. No, you're going to be hungry. You're going to be eating. You're going to be trying to get to what you're trying to get to. You got to put in that work sometimes. And yeah, it's not easy manifesting your dreams. Sometimes you have to literally, like I said in my previous lives, which you can go and check on YouTube, Kas the Bestie and the recap. The first ever Twitch stream that I did, I have that up on my YouTube platform. So you can watch any of them if you ever really wanted to. The first one I definitely forgot to record, so it's not here on Twitch. But if you want to run it back, go subscribe to me on YouTube. But when I sometimes you have to knock things over. Sometimes you have to start over from zero. But if you want to manifest something, you have to make sure that the ground is solid enough for you to manifest, right? So if you want to build something from the ground up, you start within. You start with yourself. You build yourself up. You get yourself to be confident enough. You get yourself to be whatever smart enough if you feel like you're not smart enough. It's intelligence is all a spectrum, and it's all about what you do with the things that you're given. So you can be in a part of your life where you could be working on something that has nothing to do with your goal, but however, it's going to get you to the position where you can start working on your goal. That's the point. Once you have that tunnel vision, nobody can stop you. Nobody can get in your way. Nobody can be an obstacle in your life. You have to really, really want something. And I actually listened to this podcaster. His name is Myron Golden. And he says, well, not all the time, but he said in one of his podcast videos that you have to fight for the life you want or you're going to settle for the life you were given. And that's true. You're going to be settling for the life that you were given if you don't go out and make the move so that you can create what you want. People are going to give you whatever they want to give you. You don't have to accept it. It's like when you're in a relationship, right? If you're in a relationship, and some people, they were not taught about relationships. And I could say somebody like me personally, when I was younger, I never really spoke about relationships. Relationships was really a taboo topic because it was like, when you're young, adults really don't want you to grow up. They don't want you to experience like the things either they went through or things that could possibly harm you in your heart because they want to protect you. But with that being said, I never had conversations about relationships or conversations about sex because I was just in the perspective of I have to be doing what I'm told. I'm not allowed to date. And I went and I did these things secretly. I went and did them anyway with no knowledge, no idea what is out there for me. And I went out there and I went searching for who knows what. And I found nothing that I was looking for. I found traumatic experiences. I found abuse. I found domestic violence. I found lots of trauma in those streets. And then I decided, I actually don't want that. That actually doesn't even align with me. I see myself, I look at myself in the mirror and I say, that is not you, boo. That's not you. That's not the life that you were supposed to live. So you have to be able to take into account the life that you've been through and then where you are in the moment and say, is this something that I could deal with for the rest of my life? Because if not, something has to change. And sometimes you have to change people in your life. Sometimes you have to change locations. Sometimes you have to change jobs. Sometimes you have to change your mindset. It's a lot of things that you could possibly have to change, but you have to recognize what you want first in order to know what you need to change. Because if you don't recognize what you want, then you're just going to be thinking that you can obtain what you want just in the same space that you're at. That's one thing I always think about because a lot of people will talk about like on TikTok and stuff. I'll see people talking about doing love spells and things like that. And I don't believe that people should be doing any type of love spells, aka manipulation on anybody because when you do those things, it takes away one, people's free will, but it also takes away their like it's like their sanity. It's like that movie Obsession. I actually made a TikTok the other day and I was talking about this, but it's like the movie's Obsession, he wished that the girl would love him. And oh, did she? Oh, did she? The entity that was attached to her. Yes, because when you do things that are with negative intent, the energy that you're putting into it is what you're going to get out of it, regardless if you are doing it for the intention of, oh yes, I want to be with this person. You have to do things the right way. You have to do things on the up and up. You have to be straight up when you do things because what goes around will come back around. That's why I always do everything that I do in life with integrity, morals, values, because one, I'm not going to affect my own life for anybody. That's one thing. And two, I'm not going to put myself in a position to one, have to go back and relearn the same lessons that I've already learned in life. Once you learn a lesson, you either are going to accept whatever predicament you're in or you're going to move past it. Sometimes people accept the lessons and just say, well, I guess I'm always knocking stuff over. I'm always knocking stuff over. I'm always knocking you over, Pookie. But yeah, that just threw me off. That threw me for a loop. I'm not gonna lie. What was I talking about? See, this is why. This is why. Because sometimes when you're thinking about something, the energy will switch because people don't want you tapping into that energy. People don't want you feeling that, like, talking about things that are not going to make them look good. And that happens when you're talking about things that are going on in the world. But yeah, negative energy is going to come right back to you if you send it out to somebody. So you have to make sure you are approaching things on the up and up, because if not, you're going to get it back. It's like entering into a relationship with somebody and not being upfront. In the end, the truth is going to be revealed. Whatever is done in the dark is going to come to the light, regardless if you think it's not. If you think it's not, it is. It is. It's just not going to come out in a way that you would suspect, or you would think. It might come out later down the line. But either way, whatever is done is always going to come back. It'll affect the energy. Like, for example, if you enter into that dynamic and you're not being straight up, then the energy can switch because people can only pretend for so long. It's me and this microphone for me. It's me and you. Anyway, yeah. Why does that keep happening? Anyways. Okay, so wait, hold on. Back to what I was thinking. People won't have the oh my gosh, hold on. Let me take a little breaky break. All right. I'm sorry. So if you enter back into that situation, and people will recognize that after a while, you're not carrying that same energy that you started with. It's the same way people will be like, oh yeah, people can only lie for so long. Yeah, you can only pretend to be something you're not for so long. That's why I say that it's so important for you to be authentic with yourself and be authentic with the people around you, so that people are not confusing what it is with what it ain't. They'll want you to be in a certain mindset so that you'll be more susceptible to accepting what they're saying or accepting their actions. You have to make sure that you are sturdy within yourself, because once you're sturdy within yourself, nobody will be able to say anything about it. It's like literally somebody coming up to me and saying, "Oh yeah, you're white." I know I'm not white. It's like it's something I can clearly see on myself. And regardless if it's not something I could clearly see, I know it. I feel it. And so it's like that's how deep you have to be when it comes to like who you are and the things that you want in your life. You have to really live in that energy and know that being yourself is going to get you to where you want to be. Being anybody else is going to get you to where somebody else wants to be. Like that's like when people go out and they'll try to steal people's boyfriends or steal people's girlfriends, things like that. That's like you don't even know if you're compatible with a person. I can see if you are compatible with a person. Like sometimes people really are truly with the wrong people and they come into meeting somebody who is their person. But you gotta go about things the right way. You gotta about things the right way. Be honest. And if somebody can't be honest with you, they won't be honest with the next person. So it's like what you put out is what you get back. You can describe it in so many different ways. It's like if you go to work and you do your job, you're gonna get paid. If you go to work and you don't do your job, you might get paid, but you're probably gonna get fired. You're probably gonna get fired. It's like you have to really think about it. Am I putting in the energy that's necessary, or what the hell? Or am I falling short of what's necessary for me to do? But I want to say hey to everybody who was pulling up today and everybody who was catching this on the recap. I'm sorry. This is pina colada. It's my favorite flavor. One of my favorite flavors besides cherry. Because if you like pina colada. Oh, nobody see that. All right. Back to talking about manifesting. So, manifesting. People be like, oh yeah, you have to go in the trees, you gotta go do this, you gotta go do that. Yes, you have to go outside, ground your energy, but it's the fact of you need to be grounded with reality. Because sometimes it's easy when you're dreaming about things to get caught up in your dreams and not recognize that we're in real life. And it takes more work than to just be like, okay, boom, that exists. It's like, yeah, it can exist, but is it going to do something? Is it going to flip it? Is it going to mix it? No, it's not going to do any of that. So you have to put that effort into it, and you got to make sure you're pushing it out. Well, pushing out what's necessary. I'm sorry. I got ADHD. Yeah, I got ADHD. Maybe a little bit of a little neurodivergent baddie. A little neurodivergent. That's why I think so much. All of these things that I think about in my head, I want to tell people them half of the time. And a lot of the times people don't listen to me because they're like, all right, I don't want to hear that. Focus on something else. I'm worried about what the latest celebrity is doing, or I'm worried about going out this weekend. Like, when you're manifesting, you have to have high hopes for yourself, high goals. It doesn't mean you have to be like a superstar. You don't have to be the most famous person in the world. But when you're manifesting, you have to actually have at least a high goal. Like, you don't want to be like, yes, I want to be the best manager of McDonald's. I'm not saying that you can't be a manager of McDonald's, but if you really want to manifest something, come on now. Let's hope for higher. Let's hope for things that you never have dreamed of, things that you never thought you could obtain. Me and this microphone. Yeah. But yeah, reach for the stars. Don't let anybody's opinions of what you think that you can do hold you back, because I'm telling you right now, you can do anything you want. I literally told, let me tell you about what happened, right? When I first moved into this apartment, I came from the shelter. If you listen to my other videos, you'll know that. But when I first came to this apartment, I moved from the shelter, and I was so deep into my spirituality. I'm telling you, I used to really just be in my Zen zone, peaceful. And I started learning about how people can create karmic attachments and how karmic attachments happen in your own life. And these are just, karmic attachments are just equivalent to lessons. So things that you reoccurringly go through that you feel like, okay, why does this keep happening to me? Because it's a karmic lesson. It's something that you have to learn from. And if you don't learn from it, you're going to get karma. And it's not like karma is like, oh, you did something bad, you're getting karma. No, it's like, these are the consequences for your actions. These are the consequences for your actions. And you don't want to be living like, oh yeah, I'm doing wrong in my life. No. Like, that's why it's like people make it seem like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get karma so bad. Oh yes, karma is bad, especially when the universe is doing it. But that's when you're being malicious. When the universe or God is handing out them lashes, that's because you're going out of your way to be a menace. Like people who just are just chilling, they don't go get unnecessary karma. And if you get unnecessary karma, it's because you're connected to people who are getting karma and they're pushing their karma on you. That's how that works. And I'm telling you, people will literally come in there into your life when they're in a bad season and feed off of your good energy and put you down. It's like when you're in the water, if you're drowning and somebody comes to save you, and you're like, oh, finally, pull me up. You're pulling them down as you're pulling yourself up. That's how people are, and it's like not their fault. It's just the fact of life. Where if you don't have strong enough boundaries to actually recognize that something's not in your greatest good, then it's like it's like choosing acceptance. It's like choosing to be okay with things that you're not okay with. And just because the next person might be okay with it, that doesn't mean you have to be okay with it. You live your life according to what you want. When you're manifesting, set up your life and think about what you want for your life in each aspect. Think about where you would like to live. Think about what kind of people you would think about what kind of people you would like around you. Think about what kind of mindset you would be in. What kind of activities would you start your day with and end your day with? And what kind of life would you have to live in order for you to achieve that? That's when you bring things to reality. That's when you bring whatever is going up in your subconscious down to that 3D, down to earth, down to practicality. Because when you start bringing things to, okay, yes, I think of this and I can do this, but I actually have to put steps in so that it can be successful, or I actually have to put steps in order for me to even benefit off of this. And I have to be okay and detached with the outcome and know that I'm doing it because I want to do it, not because I'm in need of something, I'm in lack of something. Because once you start being in that energy of lack, or I don't have this, or I need this, that's when the energy starts becoming switched. That's when it's like you're not manifesting it to come towards you, you're pushing it away. Like, icky Vicky, ew, ew, like you want me that bad? That's how it really is. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. If you are acting like if you don't get this, you're going to be in dire need, that's when things, it's like, it's harder to manifest in that energy. But when you manifest out of an energy of knowing, oh yeah, this is who I am, and this is what I'm going to get out of the situation. This is what I can put forth in order for the situation to become mine. And with that being said, it's going to have all of the variables possible for you to be able to obtain this manifestation. That's how manifesting gets easier. You just being like, okay, I'm going to get it, and I'm going to actively be working towards it so I can remove any blockages that would stop me from straight going through. Because if not, you're going to just get stopped everywhere and you're going to be like discouraged, because every time an obstacle comes up, it's just human nature for us to feel like, okay, stop, evaluate. And if you have momentum building, you stop evaluating and stop evaluating. It's gonna take more time for you to get to the end or to get to where you're trying to go to. So you have to make sure that when you are putting in this effort, that you're not doing it out of a space of feeling like this is your last ditch effort. You can make something out of nothing. I'm telling you that. This background right here, I made something out of nothing. Let me tell you, I'm going to tell you the story about how I made this, right? So I was going to, okay, I just got out of work. I had work while I was working at a pizza place. And then I met somebody and they had asked me on a date. And I was like, you know what? I might consider that because I look like an upstanding gentleman. And then I don't know, something in me by the vibes of the conversation, it made me feel like, yeah, no. But it's not the fact that they said anything. It's that one, I'm just super tapped in. Like I'm tapped into people's energies. I'm tapped into everything. So like when you're coming towards me, you have to be very genuine or you have to be authentic with yourself because if not, I can see through it and it's like, but when I recognize like there's a type of person that I don't want to be with, it's like, oh, I see you. I see you. I feel that energy. I know that energy. I know the way that you talk is the same way that somebody who thinks like this talks. It's just pattern recognition. You're literally paying attention to how these people move and how these people move. I'm telling you. When you want something out of life, you have to be able to conceptualize it, right? So when this person asked me on a date, I said, okay, I'm gonna go on a date. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I ghosted them. But it was only because I was like, yeah, I'm busy. I was busy doing this. I'm not gonna lie. I was busy doing that. But they asked me to go on a date and they said, you wanna go to this place? And I don't know, something about somebody not caring about what I think or what I like to eat is like to me. Like you don't just ask somebody to go somewhere to eat and you don't know what they want to eat. You don't even know what they like to eat. You don't even know if they got allergies. And honestly, I don't feel like that hurt my feelings in any way. Like they didn't hurt my feelings. Like it's just that, like if you want to get to know somebody, you want to care about what somebody wants, you want to care about what somebody needs, you care about them, you care about making them happy, and you care about making a good impression. And it's like, why would I go out my way to try to be with somebody or like, engage in a conversation where somebody is just, thinking that I'm accepting something because they're offering it. Oh, just because people offer you things doesn't mean you have to accept it because when you know what your manifestation looks like, you can see a counterfeit a mile away. It's like, oh yeah, you see $100 bill and you're like, oh my god, it's $100 bill, but you open it and it says not for legal tender. These are all of the ways that you can look at manifesting your dreams, manifesting the things that you want, because you visualizing it, being able to, sometimes you just got to write it down. You have to write it down and also make sure when you're going through what you want that you're putting down everything. Like you're not missing any steps. And that's what a lot of lessons in my life have taught me. Like I remember I was like, yeah, I want to manifest a good relationship with somebody, but this person, I want them to be financially stable. I want them to be generous. Da, 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 da. This was back when I was a little bop. This when I was a little bop. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody has those days. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. But yeah, and I actually did end up meeting somebody who was of that, I guess, considered caliber. He considered himself a high value man. But like I was still like in my young mindedness. So to me I was just like, okay, yeah, you're stable within yourself. Like what harm could this cause? But me only thinking about those two aspects about a person made me miss all of the red flags. It made me miss all of the things I could have avoided. Because when you recognize like the patterns of what people do, it shows you who they are, even if they don't tell you. Like if you want to know who somebody is, all you have to do is one, pay attention to where they frequent. Like pay attention to who they frequent. Pay attention to how they communicate with people. And then also pay attention to what they are, how they are treating you. And I'm like one of those girls who go, I'm a lover girl. I am such a lover girl. So I have to be with somebody who's actually very caring, who actually wants to give me love and affection. I have to be with somebody who's like that. I can't be with anybody who is just like selfish, arrogant. Uh, because I'm not that. I'm able to give that love and excuse me, I'm able to give that love, but whoever I'm with needs to be able to give that love back to me, and that's how you should be feeling as well. You don't need to settle for people who are not giving you love just because you feel like you don't have it, or you don't have to settle for a job that is paying you money just because you feel like without it you're not going to have it. You need to think about what it is that you really want for your future so that you can put yourself in a better position so you can get with the thing that you want, so you can be with the place or the job or the person that you want. Just be intentional. Focus on yourself. People will focus too much on other people, and that's what stops people's manifestations. You you know what I was thinking about earlier? There's those streamers, those streamer girls. It was on my TikTok. It popped up. I think and her name is Wendy. She was saying that she got like uninvited from the World Cup because she posted online that she was going. That's literally why you don't tell people your manifestations, the things that you want, the things that you have coming into fruition, your dreams, your hopes, because some people are not happy for you. Excuse me. It's this juice, not gonna lie. But yeah, some people, they're not happy for you. Some people don't want you to be able to become or get to a place farther than where they are, or even away from where you're at now. Some people are just not happy for you. They don't want that for you. So you have to make sure that you're understanding that whatever is yours is yours. You don't have to share your innermost thoughts with people if you're not sure if they're even a trustworthy person. Have you ever seen somebody come to you and talk to you about somebody, and then they want to talk to you about your problems? Like, oh, you want me to talk to you about my problems? The ones I'm going through right now? So that you could talk about me. That's why. Because you need to keep up with the Kardashian. The hell? That's why you have to make sure that you're focusing on your life. Because when other people come into the mix, if they're not people who are truly for you, then they're only going to stop your bag. They're only going to stop your emotion. They're trying to catch a ride along. They're trying to hitchhike. They're trying to skip past doing the work themselves. And honestly, I'm a firm believer of, yeah, people deserve help, but nobody is going to pick you up and go put you in a mansion because you're doing nothing. Nobody's going to give you stability because you're doing nothing. And if you're looking out for that from somebody else, you have to be able to give that to yourself. It's just a lot of correspondence. Whatever you have for yourself, the people who are in your life would naturally have that because you wouldn't allow anybody in your life that is not on that level. Not to say that it's somebody being above somebody else or somebody being better than somebody else. It's just a mindset. If somebody doesn't think the way that you think, they're going to poison your mind. They're going to get you to think about things that, one, don't matter. They're going to get you to think about things that, one, are not an immediate problem. They're going to get you to think about things that are just a waste of time, a waste of energy, a waste of what you could be doing. Imagine you went from having nothing to having something. And imagine if you would have stopped paying attention to people, how much faster it would have happened. I know this. I was in a shelter for like 2 years. And the whole time, I was still trying to maintain the image of not being in a shelter. I was still trying to appear to be good because, one, I didn't want people to sit there and try to pity me or try to act like, oh, I'm a soft cake. No. In a shelter or not, I'm still a bad bitch. Shelter or not, I'm still going to be getting to the bag. Shelter or not. But in that moment, I needed to get my priorities straight because it's not about what other people think. It's not about what other people see in me. It's not about what position I'm in right now. It's about where I'm going to be and how I'm going to get there. Focusing on what's important will get you to the goal. It's that tunnel vision for you. If you actually look up, there are some psychologists, I actually learned about this in school, that there are some psychologists that actually say that when you can visualize your target, people have reported, and this has been a study, people reported that they get to their goal faster. And the example that they used was that they looked at a stop sign, I think it was a stop sign. And they had people who were heading towards the stop sign walk towards the stop sign, and they said, look at the stop sign and don't look anywhere else. And then they had people who didn't focus on the stop sign. The people who didn't focus on the stop sign felt like it took them a long time to get to that stop sign. The people who did focus on the stop sign, they felt like it felt like a shorter distance to them. It felt like it was a quick walk. So it's like it could be a walk in a park, but there's so many different things that are getting in the way, and you have to be able to see that. And it's 12:24 on the clock right now. These are confirmations. This is guidance. This is information that people need to know, because the world is just like doo dee doo dee doo doo dee doo dee doo. Why is everything so hard? Everything's so hard because we focus on the wrong things. We focus on how to get out of a situation that we know is already coming. Like if you mess around with somebody who is a known cheater, and it's like, he's not gonna cheat on me. He's not gonna cheat on me. He's not gonna cheat on me. What world are we in? I mean, what world are we in? Like, people have to change for themselves. You can't force anybody to change. So you have to only focus on your circumstances, who you are, so that you attract the person or the situation that works for you, so that you can faster manifest your goals. I want to say thank you guys so much for tapping in with me today. If you're catching this on YouTube or if you're catching this on Twitch live, thank you guys so much. I love you guys so much, because doing this journey of Kas the Bestie has been the biggest testament of my growth. When I first started doing Kas the Bestie, I was nowhere in this mindset. I might have been smart, I might have been intelligent. However, the information that was in my head wasn't going to the correct places. It was being wasted on opportunities that were not even meant for me. Wow! I think me and this microphone, what's that? I don't know, me and this microphone got beef. It's really, and I'm not even gonna speak about how it's loose, because I kind of snapped its neck a little bit. Sorry. But yeah, I want to say I love you guys so much, because me participating in this journey along with the divine has been my biggest blessing. Taking the time to want to connect with God, connect with myself, and know myself from the inside out helped me grow in such a short amount of time. Like, what I was focusing on back when I first started Kas the Bestie was just being pretty much. Being pretty, or, like being, like, giving motivation, but like the motivation wasn't that serious to me at the time when I first started. No, that's a lie. When I first started, it was always important to me. It's the fact that I wasn't as knowledgeable as I am now. It's like I didn't see things the way I see it now. Before, I was like still doing things for the plot, and then recognizing, oh wait, I'm the plot. I'm the plot. I gotta make sure the plot is going the way I want it to go, because I'm the plot. And that's how everybody else should think. You should think that you're a plot in your own story, because it's your life. And if somebody else's story doesn't just naturally coincide with yours, why even waste your time? Why even waste your energy? It's like, no, we don't have like a billion years to figure these things out. Like, most people only live to like 65, 70, 80. Some people live to 90. But like, we have to figure these things out at a point in time. And don't you want to be able to enjoy your life? Don't you want to be able to still be able to move and shake your body? Because I know, like, I'm about to be 29 years old. I'm 28. Sometimes, actually, yeah, my knee's been okay lately. But like, when I'm not doing any motion, the knees be cracking. And it's been me working out. I didn't even realize that my knees were cracking like that no more. But when you focus on yourself, that's how you achieve goals. You see, that's a manifestation I didn't even realize I was working on. I wanted to no longer have cracking knees because I don't know why, but I felt like I had some osteoporosis. It felt like I was walking around just all day long. Every Okay, my hand still got it. My hand still got it, so that sound like a little bit of arthritis, but that's not the point. The point is when you do put in the effort, you see results. And that's what a manifestation is. Everything in the spiritual can be connected to things that are in the 3D, that connect to things that are in the earthly realm in our everyday society. It's not woo-woo talk, it's not crazy. If you actually go to school and look inside of like certain classes, inside of my philosophy class, we study about spirituality, we study about God, we talk about these topics. In addition to my psychology class, we actually spoke about spirituality also. We spoke about ESP. These are things that, see, they don't want people to know that they don't think that this stuff is crazy. They just want everybody else to think that spirituality is crazy. When people are out here doing spells. No. I believe in God. I follow the most high source. Okay? Source. Light energy. I'm a light worker. Earth angel. I do what's best, not only for me, but what will also naturally positively affect the rest of the world. Regardless if my small piece of whatever I'm doing, it's only causing little ripples. It's doing something. It's doing a little bit of something. So that's why you have to not feel so insignificant. Know that you are special. You are who you are. You do have gifts that you haven't tapped in yet. And you have to just take the time to figure out what they are. Sometimes people see gifts as something that's like so special, like not so special, but they see gifts as like, oh yeah, you have to be a mind reader. Da, 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 da. I can do that sometimes, but I don't do it on purpose. I'm still working on that. I'm not gonna lie, but it's the fact that sometimes your gifts can be just your talents. Your gifts could be how you sound when you sing. Some people sound angelic, like an angel when they sing. There's some people, when they talk, they can create an experience for people where they feel like they're feeling better. Some people naturally have abilities to make people feel certain ways. Use them for good, use them for positivity, because when you do that, it helps cultivate a better life for yourself. Doing things out of spite, anger, it's only going to put you in a position of feeling like you are doing things in response to people. Stop and don't do that. We don't live our life in response to other people. We put the actions in. When you take control of your life, that's how you manifest. You wait for other people to make things happen for you, that's how you get whatever they want to give you. And you imagine they wanted you to be outside on the street. Imagine people wanted you to be a stripper. Not saying being a stripper is bad. Not saying that at all. But I'm saying, imagine you have a higher potential, and because people don't want you to know about your highest potential, they will try to steer you in a direction where it's not positive. That's why I say we have to reach for our goals. Don't just reach for money. Because when you reach for actual positive, lucrative goals, and by going within, knowing who you are within yourself, you can monetize that. Imagine monetizing something you do every single day. Every single day. There's people who go to the gym every single day, and they've just been working out, and they've been trying to get their lives together. They're trying to get themselves together or make themselves feel a certain way. And they're just doing it. If that's something that comes natural to you, who says that you can't become great at that and monetize it? Hard work, practice makes perfect. You want to know one thing I've always listened to was when I was younger, I was a very strong Nicki Minaj fan. Like she was my favorite rapper, and the reason why she was my favorite rapper was because I seen how she grew. I see where she came from when she first started rapping. My favorite raps from her was when around 2012, and I was still a youngin'. But she was rapping about things that I could feel. And that's what really touched me. That's what really made me feel like, wow, I want to be a rapper. That ignited my spark within me. But it was just not, it's not the fact that I needed to be like her, I needed to be a rapper. It's the fact that I also have that talent to rap. I also have that. So it's like you just use your talents so that it can manifest what you want. The money will come later. They say it takes 10 years for somebody to be an expert at something. So why would you want to become an expert or become famous for something that you just started or become successful at something that you just started? It's so much harder when you do it that way. I'm not gonna lie. When you don't try to experience things for yourself, life gets so much harder than if you were to just jump into the pool and get that coldness over with. It's shivery timber cold, but you're still gonna get through it. You're gonna come out the water and be like, oh, okay, this is not so bad. That when I said that they say 10 years, you look at Nicki Minaj when she was rapping before when I actually discovered her. I'm pretty sure she was rapping like early 90s. I mean late 90s. I'm over here talking about early 90s. She was rapping early 2000s. And that's why I'm like, it took her a long time for her to actually become who she was at the period of time that we recognized her. So it's like people might not see all the work that you're putting in, but just know that every single step that you take is going to put you in a position for you to be where you want to be. So it doesn't matter what people think that you're doing as long as you know what you're doing. Those are gems. Those are gems. I'm not gonna. That made me so happy. That was so good. All right, y'all. So I'm about to end this stream because I'm hot and I want to put the AC back on. And I thank you guys so much for tapping in because I know I was ending it, but I started up something again. But thank you guys for tapping in with me today. If you guys are interested in getting any unbiased advice, if you guys want to have a talk with me so that you can gain a different perspective. If you want to gain a different perspective, reach out to me on kasthebestie.com. That's KASTHEBESTIE.com. And if you want to get any additional downloads, today we're going to be having a new episode of the 5D expansion dropping on Patreon. Head over to Patreon, Kas the Bestie, and subscribe and sign up right now. You don't want to miss. We already have 2 episodes dropped, and a third is coming today. Also, follow me on all my social medias. You know, it's Kas the Bestie, KASTHEBESTIE. You know where you're at. And I hope you guys have the best day.